Hi there. This is just a quick addendum to my preceding video talking about George R. R. Martin's blog post discussing when is the premiere date for House of the Dragon going to be. That he said spring unlikely, summer maybe, and fall who knows. That towards the end of that I also cross-referenced and cited that we just heard there's going to be a reprint of Fire and Blood, the source material for House of the Dragon, coming out on July 12th from Random House, further reinforcing that it's probably going to be late July at the earliest, not June 26th as I had originally thought. That reinforcing that it seems they're waiting until after San Diego Comic-Con, that they really want the promotional boost from that because it's the last week of July. So I said there's a reprint of Fire and Blood coming out July 12th. I was already going to do this as a separate video, that we had also heard about the upcoming official A Song of Ice and Fire calendar for 2023 is going to be entirely Fire and Blood stuff. They said the 2023 calendar is obviously going to, hey, there's a new prequel out. They're going to be just 12 new pieces of official book-accurate artwork for things from the Dance of the Dragons, from House of the Dragon, which is great because we have character descriptions and stuff from Martin himself. They're based on descriptions he gives. And we've been doing this for years, sometimes like descriptions he gave for every Targaryen king, including Rhaenyra and Aegon II, are like the only physical descriptions we really got for some of them for years. What I didn't realize at the time, because I'm a mess on my end, I'm just going through, there was a lot of information coming out. They actually also announced that the release date for why would you release a 2023 calendar in July? I don't know. So when I saw, new calendar coming out, I assumed it was like coming out in December. But the new nothing but House of the Dragon, Dance of the Dragons, based on the book's artwork calendar, is coming out also from Random House on July 19th. So there's a Fire and Blood reprint on July 12th, then the calendar on July 19th. It doesn't really matter that I overlooked this and didn't include it in the first video, because it just reinforces the original point that now, yeah, there's two things being printed in late July, reinforcing that we're looking at a release after Comic-Con. I'm going to talk about that more in my next video. Now, just talking about how the artwork is, we get official information from these things. Last year's one, we got info that'll be accurate for House of the Dragon. I'm just screenshotting this here really quickly, that the artist Sam Hogg had this great 2-page spread on Vhagar fighting Arax. That's Aemon's dragon fighting Luke's dragon. And this is one of the big fandom questions for years. What color is Vhagar? And this is going back to, like, the first set of books, we didn't know most of the dragons before the Dance of the Dragons prequels started coming out in 2013. So it wasn't as pressing until 2013 that we knew Balerion was black with red highlights. Other than that, we didn't really know any of the other dragons, much less their colors. Then The Princess and the Queen came out in 2013, and it listed off 20 different dragons, but not everyone's color. And because Vhagar is so prominent, it was unusual that it didn't mention what her color was. So, let's see, almost 9 years we didn't know what color Vhagar was, since Princess and the Queen, when it really became an issue, until last year when this official calendar came out, and fans just asked the artist over Twitter, is this based on an official description? And they said yes. That the official description of Vhagar is, quote, bronze with greenish-blue highlights. That's the official color for Vhagar. That's really important. We will see that on screen in House of the Dragon, and I reported on it at the time. As someone else asked that, I then jumped in the Twitter thread, and this is me personally. I then asked, well, did Martin also officially say what color Arax is, who isn't as important as, Vhagar, but it's still information, and confirmed, yes, the official description is pearl white with a golden chest, which is unusual. Dragons usually have a secondary color on their horns and claws, not on their chest, but okay, we got 2 new confirmations of what dragons look like in this. I wonder what Arax's brothers will look like. Rhaenyra's 3 sons have 3 dragons that we think are brothers: Vermax, Arax, and Tyraxes. Arax is the middle one. But there's only like 3 or 4 dragons we don't have a color confirmation for yet because of all of this. Sorry, I'm doing this unscripted, I'm just rambling it off. That I was already going to point this out, that there's a new calendar coming out which will give us, like, what if, I assume they'll be for Season 1 characters, but what if there's, like, a really good one of Nettles? Giving us, like, facial, really good stuff that we've actually had her in a cartoon before, but we're going to get 12 new big pieces of high-quality artwork by, like, Simonetti and stuff. They're really good at this. They're the one that they really look, like Martin said, this looks like what's in my head. And it will be entirely stuff from the Dance of the Dragons part of Fire and Blood, which is exciting. And I was going to make this video just to point out, wow, new artwork is coming. Then I overlooked it. The release date, this is also from Random House. And like the Fire and Blood reprint, it is also coming out mid to late July, the 12th and the 19th. So we are looking at, this reinforces that even like last week, there were people insisting it's going to have a spring release. And now Martin himself said spring is unlikely. And we have these 2 things coming out in mid-July. We're looking at a release after Comic-Con. So think like August 1st in your mind is when we're looking at a release for this, after Comic-Con. Like I said, this is just an addendum I'm dashing off. If you're watching all my videos in order, that my preceding video which was more thought out, of Martin himself talking about his blog post, I ended it by going, I'm going to split this off and make a much more detailed video where, looking at calendars, I actually figured out the exact premiere date and what they're going to do with it. So this is just video 1.5, 1.5. This is an addendum to the first one. After this, I'm going to post the much more thought out second half, which is pretty much my official word on what they're doing with premiere date. So head on over to that. I look forward to it.